Welcome to our channel. In this session, we will discuss the concept of instruction code. First of all, what is mean by instruction code? Instruction code is simply a binary code and it tells the computer what operation is to be performed by specifying a sequence of micro operations. In a computer, we are representing the instruction with two parts. The first part, suppose if this is the the instruction is divided into two parts. The first part is called opcode, the second part is called operand. The opcode specifies what operation is to be performed. For example, here if you are written add, that means we are going to perform add operation. Clear? The opcode part specifies the operation to be performed by the instruction, and the operand part, it is also an address part. Now what it specifies, if you want to perform some operation, you need some operand. Where that particular operands are available, simply this field specifies the address location of the operand. Like this, we are dividing the instruction into two parts. Now I will show what is the size of each part, everything. And if you consider a basic, that is a general computer organization uses one processor register. Remember the thing, to perform all arithmetic, logic and shift operation with the processor register, we are using one processor register accumulator. This is used by every basic computer organization. Along with, I have some memory. Assume this is the memory. Generally, the memory instructions are stored in one part of the memory and data is stored in another part of the memory. This is the total memory. What is the size of the memory? 4096 into 16. Understand what is the meaning of this one? Means my total memory is divided into 4096 words, and here 16 represents the size of each word is 16 bits. That means what is the size of instruction? Here a word means an instruction. What is the size of instruction? The size of instruction is 16 bits. That means from 0 to 15. Clear? This is an instruction size. Now we know this instruction have two parts. How many bits are needed for the address part and how many bits are needed for the opcode part? It is also very simple. For example, if you have 8 possible values, then if you have 3 variables, 2 power 3 is equal to 8. Like this, I have 4096 combinations. So how many bits I required? 2 power 12 is equal to 4096. That means here for 8 I need 3 bits with 3 different values, 000, 001, 010, 011, like this. These 12 bits are used to represent 409 words. So my address part contains how many bits? 12 bits are needed for the address. Remaining 4 bits are used for opcode. Clear? This is the instruction format. This is the instruction we are going to use. Right. Now, here again, the address part, once you understand the opcode, that is not a problem. The address part, that is the memory location where our operand is available. So, different scenarios are there. Suppose if you want, you can use the immediate addressing, a basic approach. Immediate addressing means, suppose add 100. What is the meaning? Here it does not consist of any address. Directly we are placing the value. The 100 is by default added with the content of accumulator and the result move back to accumulator. So this is immediate addressing, that is not a requirement of memory. Now the most important thing, if you are accessing the memory location Two types of addressing are there. One is direct address, another one is indirect address. Direct address and indirect address. So to differentiate direct and indirect address. So how the system knows? So this is the direct address, this is the indirect address. For that, it uses one additional bit in the opcode. One additional bit, that is here this is 12 to 14. That means only 3 bits are used for opcode, and this bit is represented whether we are using direct addressing or indirect addressing. Suppose I is equal to 0 means direct address, I is equal to 1 means indirect address. Now I will show with an example diagram how it is implemented. Now you observe, this is my instruction. Understand carefully. This is my instruction. Assume my instruction is at address 10. Just to simplicity, my instruction is at address 10. Here 0 specifies this is a direct address. Here 100 specifies the address of the instruction. That means in direct addressing, the instruction contains the address of the operand. So here 100 is the address of the operand. Whenever you are going to 100, our operand is available. That is called direct addressing. Suppose coming to another scenario, 10, 1, add 100. Here 1 specifies indirect addressing. Now what happened? 100 is an address. Now immediately I am going to the location 100. Suppose here 200. Remember 200 is not a value. 200 is also an address. Here the operand is available. By seeing this diagram you can understand. In direct addressing, the instruction contains the address of the operand. In indirect address, the instruction contains address of operand. That is, it contains address 100. If you are moving to this position, you are getting this is the address where our operand is available. That is the difference between direct and indirect. By default, those direct and indirect, whether it is, generally perform operation with accumulator. So the operand is added with accumulator. Result is moved back to accumulator. In the same scenario here also, the only difference is which addressing mode you are using. Which addressing mode you are using. So in direct, simply accumulator AC is equal to AC plus M of 100. M of 100 means the value at location 100. This is direct. Coming to indirect, accumulator is equal to accumulator plus M of 100. Think you got it? So first you are getting one address, getting the operand from that address. This is the concept of instruction codes. Thank you.